Hi all, welcome to Diversified Finance. My name is Lakal. Just a quick video regards to hyperinflation. So, as we know, because of coronavirus, there's a lot of people lost their jobs, and then there's a lot of companies have stood down their employees. So now they're staying at home just to avoid getting coronavirus, and the government has decided to give them some money. Uh, so I think it's called job keeper or job keeper payment or job seeker payment or something like that. So, but there's a problem that associated with this one, because if everybody start getting free money, right, then there'll be a problem one day. Like, the value of money will decrease, right? Say for example, think about, like, like in simple terms, like, I have, say, 5 apples at home, right? So if I want to go up to my neighbor and give him, like, say, 3 apples, and ask him, like, can you give me like 2 bananas instead? um, that's like a means of exchange. We can use apple as a means of exchange. I'm doing this for an example. So what if the government decides, okay, everybody needs apples, so we're gonna give 5,000 apples to everybody, like, most of the people who lives in Australia. Then it's kind of like, if you think about it, then what happens if I take my apple and go up to my neighbor, right? Then the neighbor probably think, okay, I don't need any more apples because I already have some. So likewise, when government start issuing, like, free cash to most of the people who are at home, like, looking for a job, or people who are waiting for their company to ask them to come back to work. When they get free money like this, then the inflation, the price of say the price of goods gonna go up in value. So in other words, you might think it's a short term fix at the moment. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but there's things that, like, as a result, what would happen when you go up in the supermarket, when you want to buy a loaf of bread, like, it could go up in value. So maybe you might end up paying $20, $30 for your loaf of bread, right? So which is used to be around like $2 3. So this is the problem when everybody gets free cash, like, when everybody has cash, and if they get it like freely, uh, then we everybody has cash, and then there's more demand. The demand increases, and because of the price increases as well. So it's gonna be a bit of an issue, like, but this is not gonna happen overnight. Like, it'll take some time. We need to see, like, it's not first we need to see people get their money, and then they will decide what to do with their money. And then there's another element called velocity of money. So that means it doesn't matter how much money that government willing to give us. It's totally up to the individual whether he wants to go out there and spend it, right? So they can't push you to go and buy this, buy that. So some people might spend it, some people might not spend it, some people might keep it, like, they might withdraw that money and keep it, like, under their mattress or something, just in case something happens, because they don't trust the banks anymore. So right now things are not looking good at the moment. It's always better you invest your money in hard assets like gold, silver, and if not digital assets like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Because if you think about any other assets, either they are overvalued, or they are in a bubble, or they are crashing at the moment. Even shares at the moment, we can't recommend shares to anyone, because we don't know what will happen in the future. But gold, if when gold stocks goes up in value, gold shares will follow through. So that was a quick video about hyperinflation. So I'm not expecting this to happen, like, next month or month after, but it'll take a lot of time. Unfortunately, it's not only happening in Australia, US, Europe. There are so many countries in the world. What they have started doing, like, printing money, and they started giving it to people. Like, I mean, if you think about it, it's not right, because I mean, we are supposed to go to work and do something productive and get paid for that, right? But what if we, like, stay at home, and if we get paid from the government? I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a short-term fix. Yeah, it's okay, because we don't want people to go out there and get coronavirus, and then it'll be like, it'll be a bigger problem. So but either government will find a way to take this back. So maybe after this coronavirus things like, goes away, they probably start taxing us more. They probably increase like, property tax, so they might find a way to like, take it back from us. If not, like, we'll see hyperinflation if they keep on printing money like this. It is unbelievable. It's like crazy, like 130 billion, like free giveaway to everyone. It's crazy, right? It's like, then you lose your values. It's like, if when, for example, you have a car at home, right, and then when the government decides, okay, everybody needs to buy a car, and then if government start giving like, a free car for every family, like, like for free, they're going to give away like, car for every family. What would happen to the prices of the cars? Like, it's going to go down in values, because everybody has a car, right? If they want to sell it, there's so many people out there that, that everyone has a car, they don't need a car anymore, right? So the price of that going to devalue. So the same thing will happen to money, like, when we get free money, yeah, for the short term, like, if you think about it, yeah, it's a good deal. Like, it'll keep the people at home, like, they don't need to go to work or spread coronavirus or something. That's a good thing. But on the other hand, what happens, like, we will hyperinflate our currency. So AUD will hyperinflate, and as a result of that, when you go up to the supermarket, you will see like, price of bread goes up to like 20, 30, $40. Like, you might, in this situation, you might sell your house for $1 million, but the problem is, when you get that $1 million, there'll be a day when you walk up to the supermarket, and if you have to pay $1,000 for a loaf of bread, that $1 million does not worth much, right? So we're looking at something that happened in Zimbabwe, like hyperinflation. You have like $1 trillion notes, like they're carrying so much money to buy a loaf of bread. So that's where we're heading at the moment. So if you have some kind of money saved at the moment, reduce your debt. That's the best thing you can do. So at least you know that you use that money, like, to reduce your debt, so you've done something useful. Or you can go and buy hard assets like gold, silver, Bitcoin, or you can go for like digital currencies like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you in the next video. See ya.